All right, let's get this third question to try. So we talked a lot about this when we solved equations in class, but remember that factored form is good if it's equal to 0. If it's not equal to 0, which this one's not, right? It's equal to -1. That means I've got a little more work to do. So I've got to take this left side of the equation, just multiply it out, just do a whole distributive property. So x times x is x squared, x times 6, 3 times x. So I've just got to multiply that whole thing out, and it's equal to -1. Now I want it equal to 0, so I'm going to move everything. I'm going to move the -1 over to the other side, combine like terms, into with x squared plus 9x. If I add the 1 over, it's plus 19. And now I've got to use one of my techniques for solving quadratic equations. So the two ways we did it is either by factoring. The problem with that is we're looking for factors of 19 add up to be 9. Well, the only factors of 19 are 1 and 9. They don't add up to be 9. So I can't factor this one. So I've got to use a quadratic formula. So this A is 1, B is 9, and C is 19. Let's take all of those and plug them in our formula and see what we get. So we're going to go x equals a -9 plus or minus square root of b squared, 9 squared, 81 minus 4 times a times c. All over 2 times a is 1, so that comes out to be 2. Okay, let's simplify what's on the inside. So I got -9 plus or minus square root of 4 times 9, I believe, is 76. On your quiz, make sure you use your calculators and just double check all your work. 81 minus 76 is 5. So I get right there, square root of 5 does not come out evenly. It's irrational, like we talked about. So we would simplify it if we could, but we can't. So that's our two solutions. And the reason, remember, the reason why there's two solutions is because of the plus and because of the minus. Now, if I read the directions, it says, determine all the complex solutions to the equation. Just remember, when it says complex solutions, you could possibly get an I in the answer, right? If this square root came out to be negative inside of here, we'd end up with an I in the answer. That's okay because it says complex solutions. Enter the exact form. The exact forms, means it doesn't want me to plug that square root of 5 in a calculator and keep going. It wants the exact answer. Now, one thing I tried, I was just curious. I worked this a few days ago, and when I did it, I wanted to know if it would accept it if I put the plus or minus, because there is a plus or minus sign in there, and it does not. It wants it entered in separately. So I'm going to enter it as being, oops, I actually need my fraction first. So let's get our fraction up there. We're going to go -9, what was -9 plus the square root of 5, all over 2. Then it wants a comma in between. So we're going to put a comma there. Let's see if I can find a comma. You wouldn't think it was so hard to find a comma, right? And of course, there it is right there. Okay, now we're going to take the same thing, except for this time, I'm going to go, right, a -9. This time I'm going to go minus the square root of 5. So square root of 5 all over 2. Okay, let's check our answer. And we got it. So just a couple things there. Just know when it says complex solutions, the answer could have square roots in it. It could have i's in it. All of that's fair game. And the exact form, like we talked about up there, if it says exact form, if you end up with a radical that doesn't reduce, then you just leave it as it is. Okay, thanks.